Black Lives Matter is a prime example of an organization that has just mishandled money and resources. A lot of my friends, or some of my friends, tell me that I need to donate to Black Lives Matter, right? I need to support the movement. And what that means to a lot of people, including the big corporations and the celebrities, is that you have to donate to this Black Lives Matter organization. And it's become abundantly clear, just like Candace Owens pointed out and a lot of other people have pointed out, is that that money is only being used to pay the salaries of the lifetime victimhood grifters and funnel money into the Democrat Party. Now, the chapters that are supposed to be financially supported by the organization is looking at the leaders of the movement and asking, where's the money at? But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys. So the Black Lives Matter chapters could be looking to rebel against the national organization and basically express concerns that the leadership of the movement has neglected them and not supported them financially. And they're also accusing them of not being transparent with their money. For example, nobody knows what happened to the millions and millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars at this point, that has been funneled into this movement. Well, except the conservatives. We know where it went. It went to the Democrats. A lot of it. So all these chapters came together and they released a statement asking for accountability, and they made a list of demands. What they're saying is that in the spirit of transparency, accountability, and responsibility to our community, we believe public accountability has become necessary. As a contribution to our collective liberation, we must make clear: number one, Patrisse Cullors, as the sole board member of BLMGN, became executive director against the will of most chapters and without their knowledge. Basically what they're saying is that Patrisse Cullors, who also, remember, asked Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for this meeting in order to discuss Black Lives Matter and what black people and what Joe Biden is going to do for black people, apparently she's power hungry. She became the executive director of this whole movement without anybody knowing. And she is basically became the face of the Black Lives Matter movement. And none of this was approved by anybody under her or her constituents at all. She just kind of hijacked the movement, it seems like. 2, the newly announced formation, BLM Grassroots, does not have the support of and was created without consultation with the vast majority of chapters. This is how the grift go, man. The people that's making the money, what they do is that they set up an organization in order to solve the problem. When they say, hey guys, we're going to make this little group here and we're going to form this in order to make sure that you guys have the support that you need. And then at first you give a little bit of support just to let them know, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And then you stop supporting them. And that's what happened. This stuff is simple stuff, man. This is why I never supported BLM. And I don't understand why other people don't see this. The formation of BLM Grassroots effectively separated the majority of chapters from BLMGN without their consent and interrupted the active process of accountability that was being established by those chapters. What I just tell you? I literally just tell you that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. In our experience, chapter organizers have been consistently prevented from establishing financial transparency, collective decision-making, or collaboration on political analysis and vision within BLMGN because they don't care about you. They have their Marxist agenda that they want to push, and they don't want any other ideas. I mean, I don't understand. What more do you need? You should have just came out and be like, yo, we're just done with this. This is a scam. You should have known it was a scam when their whole website was filled with dead black men, but yet never mention any black fathers or black men in their About Me section. They mention everybody else except black men who they were making money off of. You should have known it was a scam from the get-go. For years, there has been inquiry regarding financial operations of BLMGN and no acceptable process of either public or external transparency about the unknown millions of dollars donated to BLGN, which has certainly increased during this time of pandemic and rebellion. Because they don't think you should know. You have no right to know because they don't care about you. And they are paying their own salaries and things of that nature. That's what's happening. To the best of our knowledge, most chapters have received little to no financial support from BLGN since the launch of 2013. It was only in the last few months that selected chapters appeared to have been invited to apply for a $500,000 grant created with resources generated because of organizing labor of chapters. This is not equity and financial accountability we deserve. Yeah, they're gonna give you a little chump change just to keep you there. Try to keep you in check. And finally, we remain committed to collectively building an organization of BLM chapters that is democratic, accountable, and functions in a way that is aligned with our ideological values and committed to liberation. We will move forward with transparency and expound on our collective efforts to seek transparency and organizational unity in a fuller statement in the near future. As we collectively determine next steps, we encourage our supporters to donate directly to chapters who represent the front lines of Black Lives Matter. No, what you actually should be encouraging people to do, if they're going to donate for the sake of helping black people, right? If that's what you're going to do, you should actually encourage them to donate directly to a business or to go buy a product. Buy somebody's product. Go support somebody's business. That's what you actually should be asking them to do. Now, guys, we already know that BLM has a history of wasting money. We've already seen this, right? Like in June, the Daily Caller reported that the Black Lives Matter Global Network spent millions between July of 2017 and June of 2019 on consultants and staff compensation. Specifically, it spent nearly $900,000 on travel, $1.6 million on consulting, and $2.1 million on staff during 2017, 2018, and 2019 fiscal years. I mean, there you have it. I don't understand what more people need to see from this organization. I don't understand how this organization is still a thing. Right? We already see what happened to the About Me page. When people didn't like that, they took it down. Now, the chapters that they're supposed to be supporting, they're not getting any money. They're not even supporting that chapter. So what are you using the money on? You got hundreds of millions of dollars. Where is the money going? Until they can show me a receipt of where the money went, I am going to personally believe that the money went to the Democrats and that it is used to pay the salaries of these professional lifetime victimhood grifters, unless somebody else can show me any other evidence. But guys, you notice how this whole Black Lives Matter thing has died down after the election? You notice how all those people that was protesting and doing all this and throwing fits and doing that, you notice how it's died down? You notice how all of a sudden racism has been solved? There's no big race issues anymore. All of a sudden, Black Lives Matter is not needed anymore. All of a sudden, police have stopped killing unarmed black men. I don't think this is by coincidence. I think this is something that's done by design. Really thinking about it and looking back on it, I really do believe that a lot of the things that we saw this summer leading up to election was orchestrated by the Democrats. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I remember when this stuff first happened, how there happened to be bricks in all these Democrat-run cities. Bricks. You know, there was equipment on site for them to use. There was people pulling in with large signs that were already made, and there was obviously a lot of funding going into this stuff. I truly do believe that the Democrats orchestrated these protests and used this Black Lives Matter movement, like they do during every election season, to try to sway the election. And, you know, while we're on the subject of, you know, rigging the election, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that pre-election, the election was rigged, right? Even if Trump had won, I would still say the election was rigged against him. I mean, looking at how the media covered everything, thinking about how these protests and these riots were probably generated and created by the Democrats. Everything was rigged against them. So, I'm not surprised to read this and to see that these chapters are not getting the support that they need, because it's a huge Ponzi scheme. It's always a Ponzi scheme. All these social justice movements are Ponzi schemes. They can't make money unless you're being victimized. They can't make any money off of it. And if they actually try to solve the problem, if they actually did something useful, they wouldn't get any money. So, at the end of the day, man, hey, if you signed up to work at one of these chapters or you donated Black Lives Matter, congratulations. You donated to Joe Biden. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.